At 3:30, after being admitted to the hospital for an hour, they started Pitocin to kind of help things out a little bit, and I was kind of weary about it at first, but then I was like to the point where I was just so ready. So they started it out very low, like they didn't give me much Pitocin at all. Contractions did get a lot more intense from that, and like they were coming really close together. And at 4:35, my water broke on its own, so that was good. I was sitting in the glider in my hospital room and just, bearing the contractions, hooked up to the machines, the monitors and everything. And then my water broke. I heard a little pop and it just felt, like the gushy feeling. And I was like, it was my mom, my sister, and my husband. I think that was all that was in the room at that time. I was like, my water just broke. And they're like, my sister was like, is that what that noise was? And so she could hear it too. And I was like, yeah. So then we called the nurse. They came in. And after my water broke, my contractions got so much more intense. So crazy. And they were coming so close together. And so they stopped my Pitocin because they were coming so close together to the point where they really weren't going to do much to change my cervix. So they stopped my Pitocin and they were still coming like crazy. I was in so much pain to where I was just ready to have an epidural, pain management, something. That was at 4:35 when my water broke, and at 4:50 I got pain meds through my IV, which was Nubane, I think is what we have written down. But I don't really remember feeling too much relief from that. There was a stronger one that they could give through the IV, but I didn't want that one. So I just did this one, and I didn't really feel too much relief from it. But then we had to wait to get a little bit more fluids in me before I could get my epidural. So at 5:30, between 5:30 6 o'clock, they were doing the epidural. I think either before or after they did the epidural, I don't remember. But in that time frame, they checked me and I was 3 to 4 centimeters dilated, still 90% effaced, and I was at +1 station then. So she'd gotten even lower, hence, the water breaking and everything. When they did the epidural, it was so hard for me to even relax and let her do the epidural because the contractions were coming so close together and I was in so much pain that it was hard for me to relax and just let her do it. And my husband was in front of me. I was squeezing his hands so hard. He said his hands were turning like blue or purple, whatever. And he had to take his wedding ring off because it was just hurting his fingers. I was like, I'm sorry, after the fact. At that point, I was just like, I had no idea what was going on. The epidural didn't take on my right side at first. I was still feeling the contractions pretty intense on my right side. The left was good. And they gave it maybe 10 minutes and it wasn't getting any better. They had me laying on my right side to see if that would kind of, go down to that side. It wasn't working. So then the anesthesiologist came back in and ended up giving me something else stronger or another dose. I don't know. Something of the epidural stuff. And that eventually worked. So then I was totally feeling better. Just relaxed at this point. More family and everything was at the hospital and in the room. But I was just laying in bed, completely zoned out, my own little world, and just resting and ready for something to happen. At 7:30 p.m., they came in and inserted an internal contraction monitor because they wanted to see a little bit more what my contractions were doing on their own. And at this time, I still wasn't on any Pitocin. When they put that in, I was 4 centimeters dilated. So really hadn't made too much progress on my own. So they said they would probably come back around 9:30 and check me and see where things were. And they say the first 4 or 5 centimeters are what take the longest to get to. And then from 5 to 10, they say average first-time mom is around an hour per centimeter. So it's like, great, you know, like maybe we're not going to have this baby on September 1st. Maybe it's going to be, you know, after midnight at this rate. At 8:55, the two nurses that were taking care of me just came rushing in, and I was like, what's going on? And they had been watching, you know, my monitors and everything out there at the nurses station and what have you. They even said they have them in their bathroom, and I was like, wow, that's cool. But they could tell something that was going on there with the baby or with my contractions, that something was going on. So then they decided to go ahead and check me, and 8:55, I was completely ready to go. You could just see Kaelyn's head without even like checking. Like, she was there. I was fully dilated, ready to push this girl out. I started feeling pressure before they even came in there, but I didn't say anything. I didn't think it could actually be like go time. But I think I was to that point before they even came in. So just over an hour, I went from 4 centimeters to about to deliver. When they were in there, they start, you know, scrambling to get everything ready, and my doctor wasn't there. So one of them called my doctor to come quick, and then she came back in, and they're like, well, we're going to go ahead and do a practice push, see how you push, and see what happens. So we did that, and I hadn't even pushed for that long at all, like not even the full 10 or through that contraction. And they were like, oh, wait, stop. They're like, she is coming. And we had to wait for the doctor. A little bit after that, not long at all, my doctor was there, and he got suited up. My husband got suited up because he was planning on catching her. And I pushed maybe for 10 minutes with my doctor, maybe 3 pushes, and she was out. She was here, and I couldn't even believe it. I was so in shock that it was happening so quick and so soon. I was not prepared. I mean, I knew it was coming, but it was all so quick. And I pushed, and her head came out. They told me to stop pushing. And next thing I knew, she was on my chest. Like, my doctor delivered her head, and then my husband took over from there and delivered her and put her on my chest. But I didn't even have to push to get the rest of her body out. My body just did it on its own, and she was there. So it was crazy quick, and so crazy how quick everything went. So I guess I was kind of lucky in that fact. I mean, I did get the epidural. I did have a little bit of Pitocin to help me out, but it was a very easy labor. I mean, I would go through it again tomorrow. I mean, a lot of people say, you know, when they're in labor, even if they do get the epidural, especially first-time moms, you know, they're like, I'm never doing that again, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have any issues. I mean, I was so uncomfortable with some of those contractions, but so worth it. And I would totally do it again. No question about it. At 9:14, Kaelyn arrived, and it was the best feeling in the world. Like, there aren't even words to describe the feeling of your child being born and laid on your chest. And I was bawling. My husband was bawling. My mom and sister were in the room as well. They were doing a little bit of video and taking pictures and just right at my side. You know, they were getting teary-eyed, and it was just an emotional time. It was great. It was the best day, like, of our lives. It was amazing. They weighed her. She was 6 pounds, 5 ounces, and 19.5 inches long. So she was really skinny and tiny. So that's about it, you know, as far as my labor and delivery story goes. It was kind of slow getting started and thought it was going to last forever. And then all of a sudden, within an hour pretty much, she was here. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions or anything about my labor, delivery, or anything like that, you know, just leave them down below. And as far as having a plan for my labor and delivery, I did not have one. I know, you know, if you've watched my videos before, I've said that I did not have a birth plan. I'm just going to go by what needs to be done. And if I'm in pain, I'm going to get pain management. And if not, then I'm not going to. So that's what I did, and it worked out great for me. I am such a planner and organizer, and if I have a plan and it doesn't go by the plan exactly, I just don't sit well with it, and then I would keep on thinking about it and be hard on myself about it. So yeah, my plan was just to do what needed to be done. And that's exactly what I did, and I'm so happy with it. So we've got our little girl, and my labor and delivery was great. I was happy with it. So yeah, that's about it. Like I said, any questions, leave them down below. I plan on doing my postpartum update, breastfeeding update, an update on Kaelyn, and all that good stuff. So I will do it hopefully today, but if not, I will do it when I finally get a chance. All right, I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.